The weekend is over, but there's a fresh new week of things that could go right or things that could go wrong in the world of Marvel Contest of Champions. Let's learn about what has been talked about in the game, outside the game, and also some interesting stuff as well in and around Event Quest Dialogue. Yes, it is the MCN, a collection of Marvel Contest of Champions news and information and good and fun times. We like those, don't we? So first of all, we're going to kick off with funny things in the game, kind of memey things, kind of comparison things, and event quest dialogue. This one in particular, I'm familiar with the tales of many champions who arrive here. Chairs can be more dangerous than you'd suspect. And of course, the chair is kind of canon-ish in Marvel Contest of Champions, unless you use the Riker maneuver. That's a very funny joke for a very specific type of fan of sci-fi, and I'm not going to explain why. For the people that know, you really know, but for others, you just won't give a damn. You just won't. But for the people that do give a damn, I think you really enjoyed that. What else? Well, Dracula, as you know, is very old. Blood Tapish. I said that wrong. I said Blood Tapish. No, Vlad Tapish, I think. The first Dracula. The summoner. What is a summoner? A miserable pile of secrets. It's not us with the secrets, it's you, Kaban, with the secrets. It should be Kaban with the secrets, and bugs, and silly decisions at times, but no, definitely not us. Also, sticking with Dracula, as Geese, 49, he is a 49-year-old Geese, or the 49th of the Geese clan, says, Dracula is just Noel with a ponytail. Do you know what? I'm seeing the resemblance. One's just kind of got the teeth, like kind of like there, or spiky like, and of course Dracula has fangs, and more of a kind of like, I don't know, death stare, aura like death stare. He is dead, but in kind of like a different kind of vampirish. I can't speak. Vampire form. So there's all the fun things. That's done. We're done with the fun things. Did you enjoy the fun things? Now we're going to go into the serious things. Stern faces, everybody. Stern. Serious. Marvel Contest Jam. Kabam. Not doing things right. Stern. So, stern faces on and compensation. Like, you should know by now, Friday, we got half. We got the Act 6 compensation. What about the compensation for the Titan Crystal situation? Well, it's not a Titan Crystal situation. It's the cumulative compensation second wave based on Kabam sending double to the community. I know we're getting double, but there were instances where people were getting triple. So what about the triple compensation, but we're only getting the double? Either way, we're getting the second compensation package. It's not, again, to confirm what I said on Friday of last week, it was, and the video that was Friday during the day before that had actually been announced on stuff is, it is highly likely it will be the latest, the last point you should receive a compensation should be about Tuesday time of next week. I think a lot of us are being quite optimistic about it being a Monday. To be honest, I think people were optimistic of getting it on a Friday. But let's face it, you're never going to get everything on one particular day. And Kabam will stagger this particular release point of it. So look out for that. Compensation for the second issue. Then we stick with compensation for kind of a bit of a follow-up. Act 6 compensation. I've definitely seen some. We did actually say on Friday there's been some dialogue with people talking about the level of spice to the compensation. So the part 2 to this particular compensation discussion is Act 6 compensation. I've been having a look. I mean, one thing that I did forget, one thing that I did say in a video on Friday was I thought that part of the compensation package is this tier 6 class catalyst. And I was like, oh no, it's not. Okay. I felt that was a bit weird, but it didn't really kind of like until I started recording the MCN today and started bringing in and having a look at a bit of sentiment and discussion and other stuff like that. What players were kind of like mentioning, and I just kind of then, you're right, it just, you people, you guys, you gals, whatever, kind of like triggered a kind of a thought in my mind of, hang on a minute. Shouldn't tier 6 class catalysts be part of these compensation rewards? I mean, if you look in game at the moment, you're like, oh, there's one for completion, and then there's 2 as part of the, and they're both selectors as part of the exploration. And you're like, okay, right, fine. And I didn't know if I actually noticed them. So should a tier 6 class catalyst actually have been part of this? I think in a perfect world, you'd love to see like some units. I mean, if you go back in time to what was the previous rewards, you can see here, these are, now I don't know the date. This is the problem with trying to find information about date, but you can see them right here. The old completion was tier 2 alpha catalyst times 7, blah, 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 rank 1 to 2 gem 1 there, 6-star shards, tier 5 CC selector. I've got that in abundance. But the exploration side of things, again, nothing there on the subject of tier 6 class catalysts. So was this something missed off? And it's not something Kabam have responded to yet, because it's like, it was all on Friday. It was sent out late Friday. Maybe Kabam have seen it, not seen it. Maybe they'll react to it. Maybe they won't. But it would be interesting to find out about tier 6 class catalyst. And also from a data perspective on how they kind of formulate this stuff, it's just coming to the like conclusions on it, because I would have for me, I did Act 6 early on, I think. It was hell, but I did it. But definitely this was the stuff here. This is an old Kabam mic, not karate mic, but Kabam mic, who kind of like put this together with it. Our goal with these rewards is that rewards from completion should help you with exploration, and exploration helps you to set up rewards coming to start in the next saga of Marvel Contest of Champions. But these are reward adjustments. So yes, the adjusted from last time, because I think when they were released, they weren't very good. That's ancient times in Marvel Contest of Champions, I'll tell you that much. But there we go with the compensation. Like the Act 6 compensation should be adjusted if indeed it is not correct. So yeah, gold I'm not sure about, because I mean I personally don't care too much about gold. It's never something of an issue nowadays. I think Kabam solved the gold problem, because I just get tens of millions. And again, another difficulty is ranking up and leveling up. Like nowadays, because it takes so long to get some of the rank up materials, and a lot of non-spending players are looking to chase like rank up opportunities to trying to at least compare close to a high spenders roster. It's a very difficult ball game, and also low spenders as well. It's not just like free to play in general, but it's a lot of lower accounts that aren't able to pump a lot of money into their, not progression, but their rank ups and roster strength and potency, are in the same situation. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Put in the comments about this. Maybe Kabam can take a look at this and add those tier 6 class catalysts in as the compensation. Should go for it. But yeah, crazy not to have them as an addition. Oh, and just quickly, last thing, sticking with that, and this is a great point as well. Even if, because I didn't 100% Act 6, right, and that's a key variable as well, because you might be like, well, because you didn't explore it, you don't get those 2 tier 6 class catalysts that are listed in the exploration. Yeah, but I completed it, and what do you see right there? There's a tier 6 class catalyst. So even if I didn't, I should receive at least 1 tier 6 class catalyst. Same thing with a lot of other players as well in a similar boat. Anyway, yeah, moving on. Now we're on to something really cool. We're going to see a Franken Castle showcase, a mini showcase. This is done by Xenoleviathan. I have to get that name right there. I'll put a link to the description. It's the top link, so go and support this particular creator. Small creator, of course. It's really cool to see that they have taken what they won and have made a little video with it. So yeah, Franken Castle in action before even the pre-release bundles have gone out, because let's face it, there may be some reasons people are avoiding Dracula as a choice. But let's kind of, oh yeah, so this was the moment when this particular player was announced on the live stream.
Xenoleviathan 9.
There we go, just for proof's sake. But yeah, if you check out the link in the description, and also check out this video right here. Ow, that was a lot of damage. And yeah, even like Xenoleviathan was kind of like explaining a few things around the champion. This looks to be a rank 3 signature 120. And just looks really cool. Like it is a rampage. It's a ferocity champion. It is a don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I am unstoppable and absolutely bursting you like anything. That's the cool thing about the champion. It is a high burst damage champion on rotation, which you can see right here. First of all, but it's the build up. Like that's the other thing as well. You'll do lots of heavy attacks and lots of build ups, and of course the incinerates are pretty nice. But it's the build up, it's the ramp, it's that first heavy attack there. You know, you go into another one, it's that unstoppable, it's the nice rotations, and then once you've got a lot of, I think it's incinerates up, and you do that SP1, you can see that. Look at that energy burst. That's lovely. Lovely to see that, and it's just working through. It's a really good video, by the way. Really nice and timely. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Go to the description. Go to the description and check out the champion. Also looks to be a very good counter against MCOC, and I love counters to MCOC because he's a pain in the butt sometimes. So he's already got the champion in game and is using it and having a lot of fun. That is what we like to see in this community. But what we may not like to see in this community is things around alliance specific events. I do like the idea of having something in Alliance that is kind of like having this nice kind of community vibe, team vibe with stuff, but it does make it quite difficult as the game has progressed because the game is so grindy, has to be highly engaged with stuff. Yeah, it's it becomes a bit of a problem for access. And something that of course that I haven't mentioned is maybe if you wanted to get involved with bounty missions and the acquiring method in which to kind of grab it, it is very much you have to be in an alliance to then get a bounty, as opposed to like doing it from a solo perspective to get a bounty. Now, it's not everybody. This obviously becomes an impact on a small percentile of people, but does require a lot of engagement in an alliance, which again causes a bit of a problem, and it isn't exactly cool and isn't exactly full community vibes. It's kind of like if you're in an alliance, then it's good community vibes. If your alliance is engaged, if you're not in an alliance, or you are in an alliance that, if you're not in an alliance and you are in an alliance that is low activity, then of course it impacts your acquisition and doing this particular stuff. But anyway, relevant from what people are saying in it. Dr. Zerler says here, while I dislike the idea of an actual entry being locked behind Alliance milestones, the fact that a significant number of veteran non-new players, and not just those complaining in the forums, are scratching their heads about how the event works should be reason enough to try and figure out a better monthly explainer than what we have currently. And maybe that's the case, that there needs to be something a bit more to it, rather than especially going, hey, you oh, don't worry about the alliance thing. You just enjoy the Symbiote incursions. I'm really looking forward to the Symbiote incursions. But we've got bounty missions to do at the moment. We've got event quests to do, side quests to do, battlegrounds to do. It does seem at times a lot of solo raids to do. As I bring up smash my I'm so outraged I hit my Microsoft button. That's how outraged I am with this. How annoyed I am with this. I'm not, but of course it doesn't really affect me, but it will affect other people. And also the farming. Yes, you could say, well, Rich, you could do battlegrounds or incursions, but you've got to then guarantee the amount of fights. Yes, it's 30 zones, and that's like 30 times. What is it, like 30 times? I should check in game. That's what I should do. Stop it, Richard. Well, it'll be 30. It'll be 30 times 2. Then, well, no, it wouldn't be 30. It'd be 30 times 3, providing you get 3 fights per time, right? Which 30 times 3, 90. 90 times 2 is 180. Well, that's not enough. That's not nearly enough. That's not good at all. You need 15k. So no, it's not exactly sufficient for this, is it? Anyway, yeah, not particularly great. I think from Kabam's perspective. I have loudly been saying that bounties will be part of the Alliance Super since August. Yeah, but then you're forced to go in an alliance then, and some people don't have the time, the restrictions within certain alliances. The more engaged alliances, even at a lower end, may require certain things that you might not be able to do due to your time constraints in IRL. But yeah, that's I guess a problem for people. And also, if you are in an alliance, if you're in an alliance that's not highly active with certain things, then you may not have been hitting all the kind of milestones as it goes, and you might be left in a frustrated situation with it. But I don't know. I don't know if Kabamasaurus Rex is just getting like not funny with people, but just like, this is what you need to do the things. Bounties feel more confusing than they need to, but at the end of the day, the bounty targets essentially just acts as a path key with a fun visual. Yeah, maybe it just wasn't the right kind of like. The more we're going into this stuff over the month of October, the more it feels like maybe Kabam made a mistake with the type of side quests that were going in. To be honest, Kabam could have just done Doom Cycle, and I would have been happy with that. But I know that not a lot of people like Doom Cycle or Dimensional, whatever it was. The thing that was kind of the web game, I like that. That's fun. But I appreciate that not everything is fun for people that maybe other people like. That's unfortunately life. I like stuff that you don't like. You like stuff I don't like. Difficult for Kabam, but at the end of the day, just do something different, because it just didn't work, did it? The cure and hunger thing didn't work, really. In Kabam's eyes, I'm sure it worked, but it's like, yeah, anyway, here's what it is. And I think we'll end with a point of ease. A lot of players in games want ease. They want to just kind of like go in and play their game rather than kind of having too many complications, especially in MCOC, because a lot of the kind of grindier elements kind of see more into things like battlegrounds, arena, but people need to do those. So they want to have time for those rather than going, right, so I need to be proactive in alliance for this amount of time to do X, Y, and Z to get myself there. Oh, I need to find someone that can cure me to do, because it's important for here. It's like sometimes it's like, well, just ease, isn't it? Just ease. But maybe people want that complex side quest and other stuff going on in the game. Anyway, that's been the MCN for today. I'm off. What are your thoughts on some of the topics raised? And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.